Hello and welcome back everyone to MMA Review, and I am your host Rohil Patil, and today we will be talking about the UFC headliner of 267 which happened on October 31st last weekend. First off, let's talk about the significance of this card. UFC 267 was the first non-pay-per-view event since 2011, which was a treat in itself. While the stacked card brought two title fights and global superstars like Hamza Chimaev, Dan Hooker and Alexander Volkov, the treat was worthwhile. Let's start off with the main event from Abu Dhabi Fight Island. Jan Blachowicz vs Glover Teixeira. In a battle of veterans, this fight pinned up on UFC's 267 main event, as it was a battle of respect, determination and being the greatest 205-pounder on the planet. With a combined age of 80 years, the light heavyweight title fight was set up basically as a striker versus a grappler, and in some sense, it was very much that way. As the bell rang, Glover hid no tricks, as he displayed openly what he was going to do: take Jan down. Fortunately for the Brazilian, that's exactly what happened in the early stages of the round. Mixing some struggling ground and pound, hosting the top position was used more to grind his opponent as opposed to trying to finish him, using tactics such as covering his mouth, leaning on his neck and making Jan feel as uncomfortable as he can. It was mission accomplished for round 1 for Glover Teixeira's corner. While most appreciated a takedown of Glover, it was speculation around if he could do it again, especially in the later rounds. As the bell of the second round struck, most anticipated that Jan Blachowicz would unleash his unique Polish power on his opponent. While having some success on the feet, Glover looked like he could find spaces in the gaps in order to counter Jan's heavy hands and eventually land one of his own, shocking Jan's legs into wobbling in the progress. When it looked as if Teixeira would punch through his opponent, Jan turned his back. A big mistake. It gave Teixeira the chance to operate a rare naked choke, tapping Jan out instantly. As the initial shock died down, Glover, like a Labrador on a walk, couldn't handle his excitement on the mic. Not knowing whether to give respect to his opponent or scream in victory, he managed to fumble out some words of inspiration to never give up. Next up was the co-main event of Petr Yan and Cory Sandhagen. When you see two names like that next to each other, you expect one thing but a stand-up war. And that's exactly what happened. Fighting for the interim bantamweight title thanks to Aljamain Sterling's cancellation, Cory and Petr went against the notion of playing it safe and went to town on each other. Spinning kicks, flying knees and ballistic boxing. Both fighters threw the kitchen sink and more at each other, both refusing to back down. Sandhagen looked to pick apart his opponent in the first, leading the dance in the early stages of the fight. Having a distinctly longer reach than his opponent, the significant distance allowed him to touch up Jan and allowed him to win the first round. While not unusual for Jan to come out slow, it looked rather concerning for the Russian fighter to give some of Sandhagen's ability confidence, especially with so much on the line. Fortunately for Jan, he eventually grew into the bout, looking to land his signature boxing, aiming to knock out his opponent after every combination. The momentum swung more and more in the favor of the ex-champ, dropping Sandhagen alongside some wicked shots. Petr was a man on a mission, not only to win the bout, but to win it in style. To put the craziness of the bout into perspective, both the fighters were swinging even after the bell rang, showing both of them would not give up. Ultimately, operating with no off switch, it was Jan who took the win on decision, leaving the Sandman both bloody and humbled. Occupying the interview with DC with his son on his shoulder, he issued his utmost respect for Cory, explaining that he knew how hard this fight would be.